Hi, I'm Carolyn Forster and I quilt. I do a lot of hand quilting. I do small hand quilting and I do big stitch hand quilting. So what we're going to do is I'll share with you a couple of tips that I give my students when we're in class to help their quilting, help make things easier for them. So one thing I find is if you can't thread your needle with your thread that you have, turn the needle over, because needles have two sides. The way needles are made, they're pressed, and one side's smoother when they finish it than the other. And probably if you looked at your needle under a microscope, you could see that there are like little bits of grit inside, or one side is coarser. So just turn the needle over and see if it's easier to push the thread through from that side. And most of the time, that's just going to make things easier for you. Another tip that I can think of is make sure if you're doing big stitch quilting that the shaft of your needle is always fatter than the thread you're using when the thread's double. It seems like a really obvious thing, but I mean, I forget it when I'm using new threads. And then I wonder why the needle won't take the thread through the fabric without loads of tugging. So just make sure that shaft of the needle is always fatter than your thread when it's doubled through. I don't know, that's about it. I'm English, by the way, so the other thing I was asked to say was to talk to you about little things that are different in England. Like we have wadding in our quilts, not batting. It's actually the same thing, we just call it something different. And if you're talking to an English person about patchwork and quilting, they'll also be doing something called a plique, which actually you pronounce applique, but it's the exact same thing. So if you don't understand them, they're doing applique, not applique. So that's my little translation tip there. So thanks for joining me. Hope you have fun and like to see you at a quilt week in the future. Thank you.